My family we didn't talk about money. I wasn't really prepared for the modern world when I got into it.
Hmm.
Um, I think that kids coming from FI households have a real leg up on lots of other kids because if you're in a FI household, you're always, not always, but it's a central part of who you are. We are pursuing a economic goal. We're pursuing a lifestyle choice. We have deliberate plans, and this is how we're going to get there. And when you are marinating in that, as kids are going to be, that's their normal.
Yeah.
Whatever you grew up in, that's your normal, good, bad, or indifferent. And if
Yep.
you grow up in a gaming household, you grow up in a household where intelligence is respected, rewarded.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, your experience, right? You've been doing this a long time. And if you're going to gaming conventions and you're watching kids sort of, not just your own kids, but other kids in that environment and seeing how they grow and change. And like you were saying, right? You just see a lot of really sort of smart, bright, good kids.
Yeah,
And that's good evidence that whatever their percentage of nature, nurture, or some combination of the two, it still seems like it's beneficial regardless of however it falls. So,
yeah, agreed. So Catan came out in 1995. I was 29 at the time, and that's when all the Euro games came out. And
mhm.
like I said, I think the Euro games do a better job of teaching these strategies. I can tell you that I became a better worker over time. I think in part because I was playing strategy board games. It made me a better project manager. It kept me on focus. It helped me realize what was a priority and what was not a priority. It,
Yeah, that
yeah,
no, that's just so fascinating to me because, right, the more that we talk, the more I just keep coming back to it's this idea of practice. And
yeah,
and consistency over time with things is so valuable, whether it's exercise or it's your eating habits, or I mean, one of the things in the martial arts world that always gets talked about is right, you don't do martial arts, you practice martial arts, right?
right.
Because you're never, however good you might become, you never arrive. You're always learning and growing and expressing yourself in some sort of way. And right, it just becomes more ingrained and more automatic. And I think what I'm getting from our conversation today that I haven't really sort of thought about with board games before is it seems to me so much of the learning comes from the repetition and the practice, right? And so that just builds this skill set even if you're not aware of it. And of course, the idea of there's a competition is also very important. Whether it's the cooperative games and you're playing together against the game, or you're competing with the other people you're sitting around the table with, without having some way to keep score, it just changes and I think dramatically decreases the motivation. And then you're not going to learn the skills in the same way. So it all fits together, which is just that's just really cool to me.
Yeah,